So 90% of the people that are selling their house said, we're not going on spring break. We need to spend that week getting the house ready to put on the market. So it's interesting. Your competitors are on spring break, and the sellers who want to sell are at home right now. It wasn't uncommon in the 9 days of spring break, Saturday to the following Monday. I would list 9, 10, 14 houses. So I commend you for working, not being on spring break. For those of you on spring break, have fun with your family and don't do it again next year if this is prime season for you. Okay?
Thank you. Thank you.
Because I could take more listings in 9 days at the end of March on spring break than I can take for the entire month of November working 60 hours a week in Virginia. So today we're going to talk about negotiation, yes?
Yes.
And so there's lots of ways to go with it. I can do superficial negotiation, give you overviews. And yet what happens is when I do overviews, like, let me explain, it must be a win-win, and you must determine blah. That is great. But what happens is we don't actually learn how to negotiate. We have theories. So what I'm going to do today, because that's what I was working on last night, is I'm going to teach you how to present a contract to a seller so they take it. And then from that, you can extrapolate to other scenarios. Is that okay with you guys? Jake, would you please
Yes.
take us to hell with, I mean, honest to God, we got wonderful, beautiful Catherine French. She's not letting us see her face. I got Randy, and Randy doesn't want to see his face. Candace is letting us see us. Guys, take it off mute. Come on. We got a
Hey,
small crowd
Steve.
today.
Hey, just
Yeah.
waiting. I've been waiting for you to call me out. I'm driving to my office. As soon as I get to my
Ah,
office, I'll turn the camera on.
you got it.
All
Jeff,
right.
turn on your camera, man. You're a beautiful man. I want to see you. I had a great call with Jeff this morning, man. I love Jeff.
I'm outdoor
You guys,
knocking.
you should, yeah, I like that, Candace. You should be out. You should all be following Jeff DeCrave for his Instagrams because he is killing it for how he looks on it. Okay, so we're going to talk about a contract for a seller. So before we present a contract to a seller, we have to make sure that we're doing the things where the sellers trust us. So I want to hit a couple points. When you list a home, we recommend that you call the sellers 3 times in the first week. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, Mr. and Mrs. and alternated so nobody feels like you're second rate. You want to make sure you have a lot of communication with them. Number two, you want to always talk to your sellers in their personality style. Sahel, could you take us off mute for a moment?
Yes, sir.
Tell everybody where you're from so they can send you a referral.
I am in the beautiful city of Toronto in
Yes,
Ontario.
it is absolutely gorgeous. It's like Buffalo enhanced. Buffalo is awful, and Toronto is above Buffalo.
You're right about that.
Now, yeah, buddy. So, nothing wrong with Buffalo. It's a good city to be from. So, Toronto is gorgeous. So, Sahel, are you smarter than a cockroach?
Yes, I'm smarter than a cockroach
Well, why can't you get a cockroach to do what you want?
because they don't speak English.
Because you don't speak cockroach.
Yes.
Because I'll tell you, Mrs. Cockroach, she can get Mr. Cockroach to do what she wants, yeah?
Oh, yeah, she can.
Are we smarter than our sellers, guys, for real estate? What's the answer
Yes.
every time? We're more experienced on deals. Most of our sellers have sold 1, 2, or 3 homes in their entire career. So, are we smarter than our sellers? Why can't we get them to do what we want? Because we're not speaking in a way that they'll accept it. So, one of the things you want to do, Joe, is when you meet with Bob and Mary Smith in beautiful Connecticut. That's where Joe Sayers from. Where you from again in Connecticut, Joe?
Naugatuck, Connecticut.
Love Naugatuck. My brother, who passed away unfortunately, lived in Guilford for many years. Okay.
Not
I,
too
li- I
far.
was born in I was born in Hamden, Connecticut at New
Yes.
Haven Hospital. So when you meet with Bob and Mary Smith in Naugatuck, Connecticut, by the end of your listing presentation, which they hire you because they're smart, Do you know his and her personality style?
Yes,
Do you put it in your CRM so every time you talk to them, you're talking to them in their personality style?
I should. Yes, I will do that going forward.
From now on, I'm giving you a hint here, guys. They don't change their personality style. So when she's an analytical and he's an expressive, my calls to Mary are, "Hi Mary, it's your realtor Steve Powers. Do you have a quick minute?" Yes. As you know, I talked to you on Tuesday at about 4:30. So in the last 48 hours, I have some more information. Can we talk about what we've done the last 48 hours? And an analytical loves that kind of language, right, guys? And of course, he's expressive and they're all visual. Bob, hey, look, man, I'm so glad you picked up, Bob. I got to tell you, I'm so excited to represent you and your wife. You know, you and I talked 2 days ago. Do you have a quick minute? I can tell you what some of the things we've done so people come see your house in the last 48 hours. Sure. Oh my God, wait do you see what we've done? See, by talking this up and down, look and see, look and see. The expressive loves me because I'm talking in their language. I'm all over the place because they're all over the place. They're shiny objects. They're on sugar water. And when I talk to the expressive like an expressive, they love me and they follow everything I say. And when I talk to analytical and analytical, I'm talking their language, so they trust me and they do what I say. So number one, call them a lot in the beginning of your relationship. Talk in their personality style, so there's a trust bank just chipping up. Yes. So let's talk about when a contract comes in. Number one rule, never call a seller and tell them you got a contract coming in. Until you have it in your hand, you don't have anything. You tell the seller we got a contract coming in, it never comes in. Who are they mad at?
And
Can
us.
everybody please take me off mute? God bless it. Let's have a conversation.
They're mad at us,
Mirko,
coach.
Mirko, are you on this call? Or are you monitoring it? Hello, Mirko. That big,
Hey,
beautiful
hey, no,
smile.
I'm here. I'm here, Steven. Nice. I'm here. I'm
Mirko is
listening.
kind enough to join our coaching recently. Mirko, tell everybody where you're from so we can send you a referral.
I'm from Milan, Italy.
We're international. He's in Italy. Thank you for joining our company. I'm glad you're here.
Thank you
So
very
never
much,
call
Steven.
a seller, tell them you have a contract coming in because when it doesn't come in, what happens to our trust?
It's
Because you
gone.
told them the contract's coming in, it didn't come in, so you're a liar. Once you get the contract in, make sure that the contract's complete. Full picture, full pages, all initials, all signatures. Make sure the buyer doesn't have something to sell that they don't tell you about. Make sure they're pre-qualified. Once you know the buyer is fully qualified, it's a decent offer, then you let the seller know you have a contract. See, I can talk to Beth because Beth is from beautiful Nashville. Hey Beth,
Mark,
can you call me
afternoon.
sometime? I want to come to Nashville in October and I'd like to do a speaking engagement. Maybe you and I can work out something where we can speak on your behalf and get you a lot of money, et cetera. So I want to come down to Nashville during a certain date in October and maybe we can work something out.
Okay.
So let me tell you how experienced Beth is. Beth knows in a hot property that people are going to write offers just to see if they can get it accepted. And what they do is they leave an initial off on a page. So if the offer is accepted, they don't have to finish it up, right, Beth? Because a lot of investors write offers on 3 or 4 properties, but they want to leave themselves an escape clause, right, Beth?
I've never had that happen, but I suppose it could, yeah.
Well,
That they
when I represent an
purposefully don't put
investor,
it on there?
I'm sorry?
That they purposely leave it off?
Oh, yeah, shit, I do all the time. When I work with an investor and they want to buy 6 properties out of 10, we write 10 contracts. And the 4 that we're okay buying, we forget an initial. Then when we're ratified, it changed their mind. Again, Beth, this is the real world. People forget an initial, don't they, Beth?
I suppose, yeah.
You're missing an initial. You present it to the seller accepts it. You then get it back to the buyer agent and they go, you know, they forgot the initial and now they don't want to buy it. You look like crap. Make sure that there's no pages missing, all the signatures, all the initials
Yeah.
before you inform the seller. Here's the next step I recommend. You text the husband and wife. Bob and Mary, good news. We have a contract on your property. We'll need a couple hours to make sure that this is solid and the buyer can get to closing without a problem. It's 3:14 here now. I'll call you both at 5:30. Be ready. So let's go to, she's door knocking. I don't want to bother. Let's go to Jose. No, I'm going to go to Kelly. Hello, Kelly.
Mhm.
So, Kelly, why do I want the sellers to have an hour or two waiting for me to call about their contract?
So they have time to think about what they may want to do.
You guys hear that? How smart she is for Newport News? See, I want them to go to lunch. I want them to, hey, Bob, suppose they offer this. I'm not taking less than this, but suppose this. I want them to fight about what hypothetical offers. Because if I don't tell them if I just call and say I got a contract, then they got to think about it, then they got to fight. I want them to fight beforehand. Now, I want you to have my mindset. They're going to take the contract if it's acceptable when I present it. They don't need any time to think about it. See, Jose's got a wonderful wife. Say hi, Jose. Tell everybody where you're from.
Hello, everybody. Jose Perez, Whittier, California.
Smart guy, wonderful wife, great kids. Kids play basketball, wonderful. Jose and his wife have his house for sale with Kelly Matthews. It's been for sale for 60 days. Every night they went to bed going, why isn't somebody not buying this house? We have it listed at 890. We'll take 850 if we have to, but don't tell Kelly that. Why isn't anybody writing on it? If we got 840, I may take it. They talk about this all the time. We call them. They don't need any more time to think about it. Time kills deals. So I text them and then I call them both. Kelly, Jose, could you stay off of mute? I'm going to pretend you're married for a moment. Beneficial for Jose, not so good for Kelly. I'm kidding. Okay.
Mhm.
So I'll call Jose. Ring, ring, ring.
Hello.
Hi, Jose. It's your realtor, Steve Powers. How are you today?
Hey, doing great. What's up, Steve?
You know, I have a contract on your property. Hold, please. Ring, ring, ring.
Hello.
Hi, Kelly. It's your realtor, Steve Powers. How are you?
Hi, Steve. Good. Good
Well,
to
as
hear
you know,
from
we have a
you.
contract on your property. Hold, please. Hi, Jose. Hi, Kelly. Are you both there?
Yep.
Yes.
What did I just do, anybody?
Merged the call, brought them together.
I'm talking to both decision makers because here's the thing you know about Kelly. She is the
Mhm.
nicest person in the world. Honest to God, I just love her to death. I've known her for decades now. She sends me gifts periodically, chocolates. How can you not love somebody who gives you chocolates? Jose, I'm still out. If I only present the contract to Jose, is he going to give a bastardized version of the contract to his wife without me being there? Is he going to
Yes.
give his version of the truth to his wife?
Mhm.
I have no control what he says to his wife about the contract. I have to talk to both of them. Now, some of you are going, well, you don't understand. I have a seller who's desperate, who's losing the house next month. I don't have to go through this crap. Yeah, that's the unicorn. The one where the seller has to sell, you could vomit on them and they'll take the contract. I'm talking about where it's listed for 500 and the offer's in at 470 and it's an okay contract. We got to work this. It's negotiation, yes? I got to talk to Kelly and I got to talk to Jose. Now, Kelly, I know it. What is your personality style?
Amiable.
I know it is. How's your son doing?
Good. Thank you for asking.
Yeah, let me know when things are really good because I know he's getting better. I can't
Mm.
wait to hear that he's great because that'll be shortly. Yeah.
Yes.
And Jose, what personality style are you?
Analytical.
So I have to present the contract analytical and amiable, which means it's going to be a slow decision because they're both slow decision makers. Means I got to be in first gear. See, you're Jake Geckler. You're never in first gear. You are in turbo overdrive. For Jake to slow down, but I've got to remember, I'm presenting a contract that's not a shoe-in. It's not 10% over full price cash. It's a normal contract with give and take. So I've got to go, as you know, Jose, we have a contract on your property. Now, we've had your property for sale, and I'm going to have to explain because analyticals like me to show their work. Remember algebra, guys? It wasn't enough that you got the quotation correct. You had to show your work. And Kelly wants to know that everybody's happy and it's a fair deal. She doesn't want to hear me that we're going to screw the buyer. She wants to make sure everybody's happy. So I have to have their personality styles. When I talk to Kelly, kumbaya, do a trust fall. Okay. When I talk to Jose, show my work. Now, I'm going to explain what they can do with this contract before I present the contract. So listen to how this works. Kelly, Jose, we have a contract on your property. I work for you. Can I give you your three options that you have with this contract? Can I do that for
Look at
you,
this road.
Jose? Kelly?
Yes.
Yes.
Like I-95, the road.
Whoever's doing that, could you take off the 995? So Kelly, Jose, here are your three options. Number one, when you accept the contract as it's written, you now can pack up your house, Jose. In 42 days, you'll be out of here. You take care of your dad. And Kelly, you no longer have to show the home. Your daughter won't have to make allowances for getting home from school for strange hours. When you accept it as it's written, we're done. Option number two, you can reject the offer. We've had the house for sale for 56 days, and we have to hope that in another 56 days, someone will come along and maybe offer something close to this. Or number three, you can counter. So Kelly, Jose, a counter is really a rejection. May I explain?
Yes.
It's not uncommon because there's multiple houses for sale. The buyer says, well, I like these two houses. Let's write a contract on that wonderful house with Kelly and with Jose. If they take the contract, we'll buy it. If they make one change, we'll go right on the other one. So I want you to know that if you make one change on the contract, it's really a rejection. You hit the ball back to the buyer, and the buyer doesn't have to hit it back. They can take the ball and go home. So let me go through your three options again. You can counter, which is really a rejection. You can reject it and hope that someone else comes along. Or when you accept it as it's written, you can start packing up and go take care of your dad in Dallas. Do you guys have any questions about your three options?
No.
No.
So I want you to understand what I just did. I gave them how many options, guys?
Three.
Three.
And what was the first option?
To
Reject.
accept it.
When you accept it as it's written, did you hear that assumptive option?
Mm-hmm.
What was the second option?
Counter.
Reject it.
And what was the third option?
Counter.
But a counter is really a what?
Rejection.
And after I explained it, did you guys notice I reversed the order? Let's just go back over them. When you counter is really rejection, and when you accept. I started when you accept it as it's written, and I ended it with when you accept it as it's written. Do you guys see how that works?
Mm-hmm.
Because what am I expecting them to do?
Accept it.
I don't want to end with counter. So let's go to Bianca.
Steve,
Hello,
can you give it to us again? Steve, can you give it to us again, please?
When you accept it as it's written, personality, style, motivation, amiable, your family no longer has to have showings, no, life is no longer disrupted, expressive. Your neighbors are going to see your sold signs, they're going to be so jealous. Analytical. For the first time in 56 days, the house is under contract. Driver, I don't have to tell you, your house is sold. I'm going to, when you accept it as it's written, personality, style, motivation. 2, you can reject it. 3, you can counter. A counter is really a rejection. So let's go back over counter, rejection, and when you accept it as it's written. I end on when they accept it because that's where I'm going to. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Are you saying this to prime them before you give them price and terms,
Oh,
or
I
is this
haven't given
after?
them, I haven't even talked about the contract yet.
Got it. Okay. Got it.
Dude, this is foreplay. Here,
Right.
like I said to my wife, keep drinking these so you'll find me attractive. Okay? This is just getting them set up so they are looking at the contract with real eyes. Yeah? Does that make sense, guys?
Yep.
I want them to accept the offer. It's a decent contract. We can't guarantee there's another one. And you notice I never say to the seller, oh, we got your first offer. Bianca, when I say to a seller, we got your first offer, what am I implying?
That there's another offer coming.
Well, that's dumb, isn't it? See? Now, let's go to Bianca because she's really smart. Bianca, why do I want the seller to hear that a counter is really a rejection before I even present the contract?
Because you're priming them to mentally that if they counter, there's a good chance that the buyers are going to walk.
That is one reason. May I give you the second?
Sure.
When we do present the contract in the next 2, 3 minutes, are they going to want to discuss a counter? Say yes.
Yes.
I've already told them a counter is a rejection. So I can say, Bob, as we discussed earlier, it's your choice. A counter is really a rejection. If I don't do that and I bring it up when they want a counter, I start to have commission breath, don't I? It sounds like you don't want to counter because of the commission. But because I brought it up before we discussed the offer, I can bring it up without that commission breath. Does that make sense? See, guys, this is the prep to get them to take the contract. And again, I'm not talking about the easy ones where it's full price cash, close in 30 days, and the seller has to sell. Anybody can get those through. This is the one where it's 94 cents on the dollar and they were wanting 99, and there's no other contracts coming in. So I do not send the contract to them until they agree to take it. There's a lot of you that send the contract, got a contract, we'll talk about it later. And if it's a full price cash contract and it ticks all the boxes, that's a piece of cake. But when they have it for sale for 500 and the contract comes in at 460, they immediately go, what is this crap? And I'm not paying attention anymore. And they start to read parts of the contract that don't matter. Well, why does the buyer get to choose the title company? What the heck's that got to do with this contract? How come they want to close on a Friday? I always wanted to close on a Wednesday. Chat, what's the best day to close on a property? Tuesday's the best day. Where they're closing on a dumbass day. They start to read the contract and now they got chat. Chat, I put the contract that I got into you. Could you tell me, is this a good contract? No, it doesn't protect you at all. You shouldn't take it. Ugh. Now chat's in charge of whether we get paid or not. Come on. So how do I present the contract? Number one, in their personality style. Number two, based on their motivation. Now, with the contract, sell the best parts of the contract first. Get them to say yes, 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 yes. Oh, that's good. And then I want them to say no to something. Where's Beth? Is Beth still with us? Hello, where's great Beth? One of the greatest agents in Tennessee. Is she available? Beth? Oh, she's got us off video for a second. Hopefully she's writing a contract. So I'll ask somebody else. Let's go to Jake. Why do I want them to say yes, 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 and then I want them to say no to something?
Because they've been waiting to say no the whole time to you. So give them a
You
chance.
guys hear that?
Yeah.
So Jake, we're gonna present to you a single man.
Yeah.
So, Jake, let me tell you about your buyer. Now, let's pretend you're amiable, okay, Jake?
All right.
Which is a stretch, but you got good versatility. So, Jake, let me tell you about the wonderful family that wants to make your house their home. First, I want to let you know there's this great family. He's got two kids. They want to go to the same school that your daughter goes to because you love that school. They love that school. Unlike other buyers, this buyer is putting down 40% on your property. Are you okay that your buyer, hear me assumptive, is putting down 40% so the mortgage is no problem?
Yeah. Yeah, that's great.
And unlike other buyers, they don't have to refinance a car, they don't have to refinance a double wide or sell a condo. Are
Hmm.
you okay that your buyer is good, clean, fully approved?
Yeah. Hmm.
So I'll check that out. Number two, the buyer knows that your school ends at the end of May, so they assumed you wanted your daughter to finish up school. Were they correct with that?
Yeah.
So are you okay that they said they would like to close in April and allow you to rent back for free to the end of May so your daughter is not disruptive? She gets to finish her school year.
That'd be great. Yeah.
Oh, perfect. So far we got two yeses, and this is awesome. Number three, the buyer would like to do a home inspection, but unlike most buyers who are now asking for 15 days, your buyer said, to be fair to you, we'll get it done in under 5 days. So they only asked
Oh,
5 days for a home inspection. Are you okay that your buyer is only asking for 5 days to inspect your property?
that's great. Yeah.
Now, you offer the refrigerator, the dishwasher, and the microwave and the stove, yes?
Yeah. Right.
Did you offer the lawnmower and the yard furniture in the back and pay 1 year of their HOA fees?
No. Mhm.
You didn't offer that, did you?
No.
Your buyer didn't ask for that.
Perfect.
Unlike other buyers, they're asking for the world now because there's so many houses for sale. We have buyers asking for lawnmowers, lawn furniture, HOA fees. Your buyer didn't ask for any of that, did they, Jake?
No.
Excellent. So you got a very fair buyer. They only want what you've offered. Now,
Perfect.
most buyers are paying between 93 and 94% as a final sales price for a home.
Hmm.
Your buyer didn't offer you 90%, 91, 92. They didn't even come in at 93. This is cool. Not even 94. Your buyer came in at almost 96% of what you're asking. So they're paying 2% more for your home than other sellers are getting. Are you okay with selling your house for 2% more than everybody else is getting, and you're going to get a straight up 96% of what you're asking?
Sounds pretty good. Yeah.
And stop. Did you guys hear how I sold that 96% offer?
Sure.
If I present this contract like this, is he probably going to take it?
Mhm.
See, because he's amiable, did you hear how kumbaya and amiable I was on that? The family wants to raise their children, being so fair. Honestly, after I do these amiables, I've got to go take a shower with a steel wool sponge to get all the sticky shit off of me because I'm all syrupy. But I can be amiable like nobody's business. Okay? But you see how I sold the best parts of that contract first? Are you okay that your buyer, did you hear this assumptive, is fully qualified? The buyer is looking for 5 days, not 15. They're putting 40% down. I'm trying to look at the parts of the contract. How do I sell this? How do I make it the buyer? Because if I can humanize the buyer, is an easier sale. That's why I say blank and blank. If you humanize them, it's not an enemy. Now, Jake, say to me, he's trying to rip me off 96%. Why is he trying to steal it from me?
Yeah. I mean, sounds like a ripoff, Steve.
You know, Jake, I work for you, yes?
Yeah.
And if this offer came in the first 7 days, you and I would go, no.
Hmm.
If it came in the first couple of weeks, no. We've been for sale for what, 98 days?
Mm. Yeah.
Let's not be mad at Jim and Nancy Smith for writing this contract at 96%. You know who we should be mad at?
Hmm. Who?
We had 51 other people go through your home and they didn't even have the guts to offer you 92%. We shouldn't be mad at Jake and we should be mad at Bob and Mary Smith. At least they had the ability to put something in writing. Let's be mad at the 51 other people that wouldn't even offer you 96%.
Hmm.
Now you see how I made that sound, guys? Let's not be mad at this buyer. This buyer came to the table. Let's be mad at the other 51 people that wouldn't even offer this amount. What am I saying, guys? That this is a darn good offer, yeah? Questions on this before we move on, because we got some a little more to cover on this contract.
Steve,
Yes, please.
so if you're just saying 96%, you don't give them the price?
I will eventually. Well, how much is that? Well, we have it for sale for 500 and they offered you 480. Because 96% sounds all, especially when I say most sellers in this area are getting 93 to 94%. And I let it hang. Did you guys notice how I just let it hang? Because he was going 94%, that means 6%. That means I'm gonna get four less. I'm gonna get in the 6% less of 500 is 470. Your buyer didn't come in at 91, didn't come in at 92, didn't come in 90, they didn't even come in at 93. They came in at almost 96%. You're getting 2% more than everybody else. People have to feel they're winning. Because if you start out with, okay, we got a contract. Okay, what they offer? 480. We're done. The seller's like, I sell them on the parts of the contract, the terms that they go, yes, yes, yes. Then you notice, and Jake picked it up. I bring up, did you offer the washer? Did you offer the refrigerator stove? Yes, yes, yes. Did you offer a washer and dryer? No. Lawnmower? No. Pay HOAs for 6 months? No. Here's the good news. Your buyer didn't ask for any of that. You've got a very fair buyer. Everybody else, the contracts are coming in. They want the world. You've got a very fair buyer. See, humanizing, making the buyer fair. Then they can sleep, accept it because we didn't get full price, but we got more than our neighbors. We didn't have to give anything else everybody else. They have to feel like they won, right?
Coach, can you explain to me that the portion where you say your buyers came in at 2% more than what everybody else is offering, or what your neighbors got?
Yeah. What do you mean by explain? Tell me what you're thinking.
So you're saying you got an offer in at 96% of what we're asking, which is 2% more than what your neighbors got. Did I
Yeah,
get
but
that
if you
right?
remember, I said the final is the price. Most sellers are getting 93 to 94% of asking price as the final
Oh,
sold
got it.
price.
Okay, that makes
And
sense.
then I let that
Okay,
hang. So all of a sudden they're going, shit, am I getting 93, 94? Am I getting 90%? Then I build
got
it
it.
up to 96. 96 sounds a lot better than 20,000 less than full price.
Right. And again, I like that you're priming them about that of what. So yeah, thank you for clarifying.
And those that are getting higher are usually giving up 5% in closing costs. I don't know who you helped across the street, Aaron. I don't know what good deed you and your wife have done. This is the first contract we've seen in months where the buyer wasn't asking for a 3% seller concession on price, on closing costs. So we got sellers who are accepting 95%, but giving up 3% seller concessions. They're down to 92. Are you okay that your buyer's not asking for you to pay any seller concessions?
Mhm.
You see, you hear the
Yeah,
vernacular, guys,
yeah,
Yeah.
that's
and
powerful.
you notice that I said, I believe twice, I work for you.
Hmm.
I make sure they know I work for you because I don't want them thinking that I'm just trying to get the deal signed to get paid.
Hmm. Hey, coach, how do you slow down a driver who's like, just give me the price, just get to
They
the point?
don't. Well, the thing is, and Jake, this is
Yeah.
this is where someone of your experience knows this. I can't talk this slow to a driver. They'll
Hmm.
reach through the phone and choke me.
Yeah.
I mean, honest to God, they're like, Steve, I don't like you and I hate you every minute this is taken. I can't go at this pace. So I
Yeah.
have a driver. So
Yeah.
Bob, And with drivers, you use presuppositions. You should write that down. A driver may not always be right, but they're never in doubt. Honest to God.
As you know. Yeah.
So, Bob, I don't have to tell you, there's three options, and you know them already. I'm required by California law to tell you what they are. Number one, Bob, when you accept the property as it's written, you're done. You know that. It's a done deal. Number two, you can reject it. That's an option you have. And number three, of course, you can counter. And Bob, you've sold three houses. You know that a counter is a real rejection. You hit the ball back, the buyer takes the ball, goes home. So again, just to be sure, because I work for you, you can counter, really rejection, you can reject it, or as you know, when you accept it as written, you're done. Any questions or you got all this? I got all this. I know this. You use presuppositions. Tell the driver they know what you're about to say, and they go, yeah, whatever you're about to say, I already know. Yep, I knew that. And they're the easiest ones in the world. The mistake you guys make, you need to talk less with the driver, less details, but you have a tendency to talk too fast. Just say less. Don't talk fast. Just say less. No fat, no stories. Amiables need stories, need context. Expressive needs superlatives. Analyticals need numbers. Drivers, just the facts. But you guys, well, three options: accept, reject, or counter. Any questions? So, Bob, I don't have to tell you, there's more than the price. So, Bob, the first thing that you probably already thought of is you want to make sure your buyer's qualified. Fair statement? Yeah. You okay selling it to a buyer, putting 40% down? No problems? Yeah. You've done this before. That's a good offer, right? Yeah. You know that. You know, most home inspections are 15 days. Yeah. You okay? Your buyer only asked for 5. Yeah. You know 5 is better than 15, right? Yeah, we're good with 15 with 5 days. Also, your daughter in school, as you know, the end of May, right? Yeah. Buyer said, I want your house. I want to be fair to your daughter. So they're going to let you close in April. They're going to rent it to you for free for 30 days till your daughter graduates. You're good with that, right? Yeah, I'm good with that. Yeah, of course you are. You know this. This is nothing new to you. And finally, Bob, you've watched the internet, you've watched the things. We all know that most sellers like you are getting 93, 94%. Um, your buyer didn't offer 92, 94%. They actually offered you 2% more. You know that 2% is better than 96 is better than 94, yeah? Any other questions? No. So, Bob, you know it's a good offer. You gonna take it? Yeah, okay. That's how you do it. The good part is Bob's a driver. Drivers marry amiables. Now I gotta, every other question's gotta go to Kumbaya, do a trust fall, drink chamomile tea because I got his wife and Betty. Also, let me tell you about how, and meanwhile, Bob's like, Jesus, but I got to make Betty feel good. Why? Because if Betty feels like she loves the buyer and it's fair, she's great. And if Bob feels like he's getting a better deal and we screwed the buyer, he's happy. So that's the versatility. How do you got to talk to them both in their own language? Because when the amiable wife doesn't feel like it's a fair offer and she doesn't feel like she really understands it, she'll text Bob. I want to talk to you after. Let's think about it. And Bob, because he's married and periodically wants to have marriage, he's like, okay, let me think about it. Because you didn't talk to them in their own language during the call. So when they both say yes, and Jake, you and I talked about this a couple weeks ago, Jake's assistant is on the call listening to the whole thing. So she can, one second. Sandy, are you okay? Okay. I'm on a Zoom. I just want to make sure it wasn't an emergency. Can I call you back later? Thank you. Bye. Sorry about that. I got an aunt who's 94, so every call you can get could be the last. I want to make sure it wasn't. So when you have your assistant on, all of a sudden she's going to send the contract. You guys go with this? Yes. Email. And then I send it to both of their emails. Time kills deals. Bob and Mary just sent you an email. Who wants to role play? And let's pick somebody new. Catherine, are you in your office yet? No, she's not. All right. Well, Dimitri, what are you doing? What are we in? Are we in a whole classroom there? Is everybody watching
Yes,
me?
yes, we
Everybody in the
are.
back.
Yes, we are,
Yay.
Steve.
Yay. Look at those people. Royal
You
LePage,
got the
one of
whole
the
crew from
greatest real
Montreal.
estate companies in North America. So we can't have you talk in the back of the room, but we're going to have Catherine talk for you guys at Royal LePage because we love your company. So,
All
Catherine,
right.
I want you to respond. You ready?
Yes,
Catherine, I just sent you an email. Did you get it?
I did.
Could you click on it? Did it open?
Yes, it did.
Excellent. On the top of the first page, is that today's date?
It is.
Is your name spelled correctly?
It is.
Is that the address of the property we're selling today?
It is.
I got 5 yeses in a row. As you can see, they're paying you 96% 480 for your home. The next paragraph says that you're selling the house as is. And the next paragraph on the page says they're fully qualified and they're only borrowing 60%. Let's put our initials on the bottom of page 1 and let's go to page 2. And what am I doing here, guys? Anybody?
You're just confirming everything, getting a lot of yeses, a lot of head shakes.
And then am I getting you to put your initials on the bottom of page 1? Let's go to page 2.
Yes.
See, here's what an amateur does. Okay, I just sent you the contract. It's easy to do. Just DocuSign it and send it back. Okay, we will. And then for the next hour, did they send it? No. Did they send it? No. Did they send it? No. Why haven't they sent it? They said they were going to send it. And we spend the rest of the day wondering why they haven't sent it back. Yeah? Finish the deal. Stay on the phone till you get it back. Because if they have a question, what does it mean about the school redistricting? Oh, Catherine, that is such a smart question. In the wonderful state of Oklahoma, the buyer has to be aware, and this really protects you, that they can buy your house and next year the city of Tulsa could change the school and they can't sue you if Tulsa changes the school. Oh, that's such a great question. Let's put our initials on the bottom of page 3. Let's go to page 4. Whatever she asked me, such a great question. I don't want them to think I'm fighting like, oh, that's not important. They're all stupid questions. School redistricting. What does this mean? It means that the buyer's buying the house as is, that they're going to get a home inspection. They can't sue you. Always make it wise the seller's benefit for a paragraph. Then we move on. Stay on the phone until your email goes ding and you got a ratified contract. If not, they call their friend who's a realtor in Florida. Hey, Phyllis, I haven't talked to you in 5 years. Can I ask you a question on real estate? Phyllis, I got a contract. Oh, you shouldn't take that. There's no way I would ever let my client do that. Stay on the phone till you get that contract back. Does that make sense? So, Catherine, once it's sent back to you, do you have a ratified contract?
Yes.
No.
The ones that sent back to me as the seller?
The seller sent you this contract back. Do you have a ratified contract?
It's a trick question. Hang on. I know the
It
answer is
is.
no, but I'm trying to figure out why.
But
You
just
gotta
say no,
send
then
it
you'll
to
be
the
right.
other
You don't
agent.
have to know why.
No.
Okay,
You gotta
why
send
not,
it to the
Jake?
other agent.
Hear that?
Oh, come on. Get out of here. Everybody knows that.
But you didn't say that.
Well, whatever.
Now, the reason I say that, because this is the funny part.
Yes.
They send it back to you and you go, oh, this is great. I got it. Okay, let me process it later this afternoon. And then an hour later, you get a text. The buyer didn't hear back. They were retracting their offer. Oh, no, I have it. It's too late. I get it. I look at it. I forward it without the seller's email and we're done. Yeah?
Yeah.
Jake hit it. See, guys, you represent the seller. By not forwarding that to the buyer's agent, are you acting in the best interest of the seller? Now, Catherine would never do this, but I have had the great fortune of selling 4,500 homes. And hold on a second. Ow. When I worked with you, Kelly, was I a big deal?
Yes.
I would call an agent and say, the buyer has accepted the contract. When can I get it back from the seller? And I get this. Well, I'm meeting with the seller tomorrow to get their initial. It's Thursday at 5. Well, Thursday night's my date night. I don't work on Thursday night. Excuse me? Did you put in your listing agreement and the seller initial that you won't present a contract on Thursday night because it's date night? Well, Steve, I worked really hard all week, and if I don't have a date night, what's the sense of having a life? All right, well, here's the deal. I'm going to go to your seller's house in an hour and get their initial. Either do your job, because I work for the buyer, yes, until they get that initial. And this is the crap we deal with. You got to get that contract to the other person. Now, do you notice I didn't do a net sheet? Anybody notice I didn't talk about the net?
I noticed.
I don't do net sheets. Here's why. A net sheet goes from emotional to logical. Well, Steve, how much do I net? Well, you owe X, so between the offer and our fees and the title and blah, blah, you're going to net 196.5, give or take. I needed 200. You're going to net 209. I needed 212. You're going to net 361. I needed 365. No matter what the net is, they needed. So when somebody says to me, well, how much will I net? Well, Bob, let's see. We're selling it for 480. Our fee on this is 6, so that's give or take about 28 grand. You have a title fee, and I start to talk about all the miscellaneous bullshit. You get this for 100. Your total fees are about 33,000. You owe 200, so you're going to net give or take about 248 to 250. Well, 248 to 250, will that allow you to move back to Texas, take care of your dad? Well, we were hoping for more. I was hoping to be taller. Will it allow you to move? Don't ask if that's enough money. Is it ever enough money? Will it allow you to motivation, personality style? You see how we're closing on that? Because
Steve, I have a question.
go ahead.
I was just going to ask you, do you ever send a net sheet?
Yes, I do, Catherine.
Okay, good.
But
Because
here's the
we have
key.
to.
I
But yeah,
send a net sheet to cover my hairy ass.
that's right. Yes.
Because
Mhm.
after I ratify the contract, I send the sellers a copy of the ratified contract on an email. Well, Steve, they did DocuSign. They're going to argue they didn't get it. I print it out. I email it back to them. Subject line: copies of your ratified contract for your files from your realtor, Catherine French. They're not going to open it, are they, Catherine?
Probably not.
Probably not. But I included the net sheet in there, didn't I?
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because I want to make sure at the closing, when there's an issue, I gave them a net sheet. They just didn't look at it. I don't hide it. It's like, here's your contract. Here's the agency disclosure. Here's your lead paint. Here's your net sheet. Here's the aircraft noise. Now, again, commissions are negotiable because we're all licensed. I charge 7%. I give away 2. I keep 5. Which is always surprising when the agent thought I was charging 4, and at the closing statement, they find out I'm keeping 5, and they're all upset. I don't care. So the seller says, Steve, I didn't know I was getting charged 7%. What do you mean, Bob? I didn't know it was 7. Hold on. Bob, I just sent you an email. Did you get it? Yeah. Click on it. Did it open? Yeah. You see the paperwork listing? Yeah. Go to page 2. It says 7% right there. Bob, do me a favor. I sent you another email. Did you get it? Yeah. Open it. Yeah. Did it open? Yeah. Could you go to the net sheet? What does it say? Brokerage and transaction fee. Bob, our fee is 7%. Our transaction fee is $9.95. That equals $31,995. We just closed it to you, Bob. Well, I didn't read it. I'm having that argument on closing day, not on negotiation day. Make sense? Some of you don't like that, and it's okay.
All
our company makes us sign it right away. We can't get a DA to go to closing if we don't have it. That's just an Oklahoma thing, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, but here's
there's
the
us.
deal. I don't put in their mortgage on their net sheets. Mine say first deed of trust, TBD by seller, second deed of trust, HELO, refinance, TBD by seller. I do not put in their mortgage amount. That's
Right.
not my responsibility. My
Right.
responsibility is to sell the house at a price and terms that are acceptable. I give them the cost of the commission, the cost of the sale. What they owe on the property has nothing to do with me, whether they owe 100 or 300. And here's the key, and Catherine, you know this because you're experienced. The seller will call their mortgage company and ask for a payoff. And their mortgage company will add 2 months onto their mortgage, won't they?
Yes.
So now instead of a payout, instead of their principal balance of 200,000, the mortgage company, because their payment is 4,000 a month, will say it's 208, which isn't a real number because they only owe 200. And then when I do a net sheet negotiating the offer, the seller is doing it off of a mortgage amount of 208. So now we're fighting for 8,000 that's not really needed, isn't it?
Right.
So when I do the net sheets, Catherine, which we give them one, we only put in the cost of the sale, not their mortgage amount, because those are the numbers I have control over. And we pad them a little bit, meaning the title work is 450, we'll put 475, and the termites between 110, 130, we'll put 135. We pad those. We hit my commission perfectly. And then at the bottom, let's say the total cost is 31,500. We write 31,500 plus or minus to be there. And that's how I cover myself in Oklahoma. I gave them a net sheet, but if you ask a seller, how much do you owe? They'll get a payoff balance. And the payoff is not real. Ask them if they have to, what's your principal balance? Because that's really how much they owe. So did you guys learn something today on how to present a contract? It's an art. Okay, that's good, David. It's an art. But talking to them in a personality style, giving them the contract in a way that they want to accept it, that's the key. You sell the sizzle, sell the stuff they like, get them to say yes a lot. Humanize the buyer. So it's not a me versus the buyer. And remind them that you work for them. So they don't think you're only trying to get this contract through to get paid. Does that make sense?
It was like watching a symphony, coach.
Well, when you do this correctly, you get a lot more contracts accepted that should be accepted. When you forward a 480 offer and you don't explain that they want to close and rent back for free, the seller's like, what's this crap? I don't want to be a renter. They look at it negatively. Okay, you got to sell the best parts of this. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And do it in their personality style so that they listen. For Jose, I have to explain. So there was 3 mortgage companies the buyer went to. They decided on this mortgage company and they're putting 40% down. And they not just have a pre-qual, Jose. As you know, there's 2 levels. There's a pre-qual and a fully approved. Your buyer is fully approved, pending appraisal. Are you okay selling it to a buyer that went through the extra steps of getting fully approved? And that's how I explain it to an analytical. To a driver, they don't want to hear that crap. And analyticals, you kill deals because you over-explain the offer to a driver and they get mad at you because they're like, I can't take it. You're boring the heck out of me. Will this recording be emailed to everyone? Yeah, Jared, we now have a credit card payment system, so we'll email it to you. You swipe your credit card on the side of your computer. I get paid, and then you get to watch it. Justin, can you make sure everybody on this call gets a copy of this? I'm sure Justin's on here, so we'll take care of that. You guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for not falling asleep. It means a lot to me you stayed awake. I appreciate that
Thanks.
part.
Thank you.
Out here
Thanks,
from
Steve.
Thanks,
Montreal.
Coach.
Thank you.
And if you're
Thank
just
you.
visiting, call me for coaching because
Yes.
we'd love to help you get better at this every day. Bye, guys.
He's the best.